So, Rob, when are you going to give us a speech?
A speech it's not really my style, guys.
Oh, come on, we want a speech.
No, guys, this isn't Friday Night Lights. It's a bowling show, you know? I just gotta trust you guys. Go up there in the lanes, trust yourselves, throw your ball, and you're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. You don't need a speech.
Great moments are made from great opportunities. And that's what we have here today. That's what you earned here today. One game. They could play us 10 times, and they might win 9, but not today. Not this time.
Life is fun, and so is Candlepin Bowling. There have been dozens of bowling shows on TV before, but we're not them, and we don't want to be. Dan Gauthier coaches one team of talented kids, and I, Rob Taylor, coach another. We're a different type of show, and we're going to turn your notion of bowling show upside down. We are the new generation. Welcome to Candlepin New Generation, a bowling show that has heard of Twitter and occasionally uses it.
Hashtag Twitter.
That's not how you use it, Dan. He's Dan Gauthier. I'm Rob Taylor. We have two star-studded teams ready to go head-to-head today. Dan, who you got?
I chose Colleen Dumas as my leadoff bowler, Rob. She is always in the money on our show, so I have a lot of confidence in her. High triple of 341, high single of 144. She's going to beat that here today. She's already promised me. And anchoring our team is Jason Gauthier, and because he's not related to me, he threw a 171 in warm-up.
Jason Gauthier scares the pants off of me, Dan, today. But we're going to try to compete with that. We've got Shannon Scribner, last year's champion, team champion as well. I think the race to the Triple Crown starts today with her when she mows through your team. She threw a 331 to qualify, and her teammate, Michael McGinty, just threw a 192 this week. Anything less than that, and I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah, well, it was practice, so we don't know if that was really real.
We now send it over to our sideline reporter and child psychology expert, Liam Fitzgerald-Leger. Liam, what's your take?
We got two evenly matched teams here, Rob, and the one that's going to win is the one that's going to make big plays.
Good stuff as always, Dan.
Insightful.
All right, ladies, take the lanes. Colleen Dumas versus Shannon Scribner to start.
Sharp-dressed man, that Liam.
And away we go.
All right. Colleen will be throwing off the first ball. Maybe Team Shoe next week is going to have to start on the left just to try something different.
You think that's the problem?
It's not me. It's not the coach.
And there you have it. Shannon Scribner throwing out her first ball. She has that left to right hook.
Oh, we're losing already. You're going to have to make up this pin somewhere.
And as I mentioned, Shannon was on a tear last year on our show. She and Alex Hazer took home the Division III title. This is Colleen's return to the show. We did not see her make the show last year. Ooh, man.
Wow, I thought she had a chance at making the spare where she hit that.
Yeah, the left to right hook seemed to really burrow into that pocket. Nice out by Dumas.
And Snoopy balls, take down 9.
Shannon looking for the out, now gets away from her. All good games start with 6, I always say, Dan. 6 or triple strike, one of the two.
Triple strike, about the same. So my team's in the lead, Rob.
First time today.
Yeah, I recognize it. Yes.
Both of these ladies are Portsmouth ICBA Scholarship Tournament winners.
Nice 9-drop for Colleen.
Shannon's back on that head pin, looking for the working ball, and she takes that 10. That was huge.
She's going to carry the 10. You could see it was going to go. I think slight easier on lane 23.
She has a little leeway. Tries to use it, doesn't get a kick.
I really don't think she was trying to go there.
And Shannon doesn't break back. It's going to be an 8-box for Scribner. Rare one that gets away from her there. Nice 10 by Dumas.
Was definitely the one I think she was probably thinking of
nicked
playing.
the end of it.
She was shaking her head when she came back. That was a missed opportunity, but hopefully it won't come back to cost Team Shoe.
Both teams. You can't hit them all. Well, you can, but...
Colleen's out of Pilgrim Lanes. Got the nice Pilgrim Lane shirt. She's been with us many times in the past.
She, like Renee Whitelaw, who we saw last week, was a 2-division champion in years past. And not only did she make the finals in 2 divisions, she won in both divisions.
Yeah, Colleen has also won the Portsmouth Scholarship Tournament one year. Was it 2 years ago or last year? One of the last 2 years she pulled it off.
It wasn't last year because it was Shannon last year.
Oh, so yeah, both of these two. I mean, we've got 2 Portsmouth Scholarship winners.
Yeah, I mentioned that exactly like a minute ago.
Yeah. Yes, you did, Rob. Just re-emphasizing it for any viewers who may have stepped away for a moment.
That's true. You can hit pause on your YouTube player, folks, if you need to. We don't want that to happen again. Shannon looking for the out. Tough 8. Both of our ladies looking to get in a groove here, put up a couple marks to give their teammates some momentum. Their teammates in 6 games threw a combined almost 800 today, the two of them. It was
So-
a 371.
So, Rob, a personal question from me to
McGinty.
you. On these informational forms that our bowlers fill out, I noticed that the last question you asked them is shirt size, hypothetically. So are you saying hypothetically if they wore shirts?
If they wear shirts, what size might it be?
I haven't seen a skins match yet here.
Thank goodness. Especially Smoke the Shoe. Smoke the Shoe would be rough if we had you in bowling skins. But no, we're going to try to get the kids some shirts this year. We're looking to work out a couple of deals as a sponsorship.
But we're going to have Billy take a run down lane 23 when he works out.
Meanwhile, Shannon's trying to steal this. Get a little momentum, Wood. Oh, blow on it when you're down there, Billy.
Even though the ball really isn't near the headpin, you're supposed to remove balls from
I don't want to risk
deck.
it.
Yeah, because you smack that ball with another one, and Snoopy could come flying out. Billy getting a little love.
Billy's been all over the
How to
place
handle
today
that.
for us. We have to give a giant thanks to our entire staff today. They were on their A game. Had one of our fastest setups in show history today.
Well, we're trying a lot of changes, and I want to thank everybody who stuck with us all day today at the taping in the crowd, because it did take a little longer.
A little bit longer than usual. And we hope you're enjoying some of the bonus content that we've been trying to give you with these matches to spice things up a little bit.
Well, Liam's insights are doing it for me, Rob. If I watch one part of this show, it's going to be Liam's commentary on the sidelines.
I'd hope you watch the whole show, Dan.
Well, I already know what I said, so I don't have to watch that part. Generally, remember how I lost the matches.
If we saw it live, then
Yeah.
what's the point?
All right, this is going to go for Colleen here. Puts it in the 1-2 pot, 1-3 pot.
Oh, just off. Doesn't come off the wall either. Shannon now, her ball, the way it works, if it gets in that 1-3 pocket, this is going to go down.
We already
in a
saw her
split
try
second.
hitting the headpin on the outside on a shot like this. and not getting
Inside
any luck.
just missed.
Yeah.
So a pair of unconventionally tough first halves for our ladies. It's going to be about a handful difference. And so our gentlemen, who were throwing 130s like there was no tomorrow earlier in the day, are going to try to do it again. And a nice 9 by Scribner.
Sometimes we give away prizes for the farthest trip to get out to our roll-offs, and today we're in Leo's Super Bowl in Amesbury, Mass. And Jason Gauthier, the bowler on the right here, who hit the 170 or 171?
170.
170 game in our tryouts. He came all the way from Holyoke, so that's a solid 2-hour drive.
It's a good trek. Well, when you throw a 420, it pays off.
And this morning there was dense fog on the road, so
That's how he starts. McGinty trying to answer.
wow.
Just goes
The
off.
start doesn't come much more explosive than what we just saw, Rob.
We saw Jason do that all day, and he's going to try and do it again. We'll send Bloom down to get the wood.
I think Mike's shot will go. I'm a little concerned about the wood on the wall. If it was turned more, I'd be more concerned.
Don't listen to Dan, Mike. Play the wood, buddy.
No, it's obviously he has to play it. I'm saying, I think between you and I, the closer he can get to the red line,
The better it'll
safer
be.
the play
I agree.
becomes.
If he's near the tip, it could come off the wall hard.
Pretty good hit.
Nice shot by Mike.
Well played. That is not, it looks like a gimme, but I assure you it's not. When you've got wood touching the wall, it doesn't take much to be off, and then that wood just shoots off the wall, and it
Especially
doesn't carry
at a
the back
house like
pin.
this,
Oh yeah,
where it's
you get
very
a lot of
lively.
action. Yeah.
A lot of
So good
velocity
start.
on the first ball from these two
I
young
think
gentlemen,
that has
too.
helped these two a lot because you get some natural action here on these pins, but you almost got to hit them pretty hard to carry that action.
McGinty buries it. Kick it. Come on.
I joked that he did it in practice at the 192, but he had witnesses. It was a legitimate 192, and you're seeing why he threw it right here with those two balls.
Just off his Jason, just off his Mike. Now it gets away from him.
And there was a lost opportunity there. I mean, the match is pretty close to even right now.
And very young as well. Plenty of boxes to go, but that's one you'd like back. Especially when you had a lot of leeway like that.
And when you're throwing the ball like he is, because at any point in the match you can lose your accuracy sometimes, but right now he seems to have it, so you want to make them when you have it.
It's just got to keep throwing that same ball because it's working for him. He threw a 375 in warm-up, so...
Yeah, he's on a roll. I mean, you got to consider the last 2 weeks have been big weeks for him. He was telling us how his heart was racing when he came home after throwing a 192 game.
Can you blame him? Buries it again. Hammer time for McGinty.
Look at he's staying calm when he turns around. That could easily have been a triple strike to start the match.
All
Easily.
of them are in the pocket.
I mean, 9-9 strike right off the bat.
And his ball is just gliding down that lane. It's the
Smooth as
synthetic
glass,
surface
yep.
here. It's gliding, getting a lot of rotations, a lot of speed, and it is burying the pocket and doing damage.
Jason must be wondering what's going on here.
Yeah, damage control now for Gauthier as he gets out of it with a 9. Jason's not a stranger to our show. He made our Tournament of Champions a couple years back out of Fun Time Lanes. And he may have bowled with Colleen.
I think he
Memory
did, yeah.
serves me correctly.
All right,
Qualified out of Holyoke.
It's worth mentioning, McGinty will be going for the first contestant to be entered in the bowling ball raffle by throwing a double strike.
Ball he's throwing right now makes you wonder. He sure could get over.
And he did it. He did it.
Double strike by Mike McGinty.
He did it. That could, you know what?
What a game he could have.
That could be a 4-bagger right now.
That may have been his worst ball of the half. It was a little full.
You know what, Rob? Throwing a 192 has got to, I won't say it takes the pressure off, but he's been through it just a week ago, so he knows what these emotions are like, and he knows how to harness them. There's something to be said for using your nervous energy to your advantage, and that's what he's doing. You can go two ways with it. It can kill you, or you can harness it. And
hopefully he keeps it up on the other side.
Yeah.
Jason's certainly not out of this. He wants just one mark to keep him in striking distance for that second half. Mike's back on it. They're tumbling.
9.
Kicks it. He's got it. Triple strike by Mike McGinty.
Second time in show history. First person since Cole Frey last year.
Jason's all over his mark, too. What a half we have. Great bowling right now. We're going to go to Smoke the Shoe to see if he can do what Mike just did.
Oh, Lord, I can't.
Welcome back here on Candlepin New Generation. Michael Pelchat is going to try to smoke the shoe. Michael, you threw a 371 today, which is a pretty strong score. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. He's shoe. I can beat him.
You've got the height advantage. You threw an awesome early score. Shoe, I don't see how you can keep up.
Well, I'm going to try something different this time, Rob. I haven't hit the headpin in 6 boxes yet. 6 balls. So.
6 balls.
So yeah, I think so. Because I hear that's probably the key to getting more pins down.
That's what we tell the kids. So
that's what our sideline reporter Liam told me to do. So.
Think you can do it?
Think
you can do it?
Yes.
All right, go do it. Michael Pelchat versus Shoe. Nested berth on the line. We'll see how they go. Michael Pelchat has been a star on our show in the past. As you can see from his 371 score earlier today, he was just 4 pins off the pace against Michael McGinty, who made the show that you're watching right now. Shoe on the head pin, drop 7. Pelchat just off. Getting a good lead, leads himself a high-low jack. Shoe has some pretty easy wood. He's on it. Shoe picks it up. Ties do go to the bowler, though. Mike's on it. Coming over. So close. He's going to go for the 10. The highest boxes get the tiebreaker, so a 10 would put Mike in great shape. And he's on it. So Shoe gets the win, but Mike's in great shape moving on. Join us for the rest of our match. The second string is brought to you by ICBA-sanctioned Woburn Bowladrome. Go to WoburnBowl.com to learn about their 4 different birthday packages. They are an official center of the new generation. Welcome back to Candlepin New Generation. We're going to send it over to our sideline reporter, Liam. What did you think of that triple strike?
I thought that triple strike was blasting.
Have you ever thrown a triple strike, Liam?
I've thrown 3 strikes in my life, but they weren't in a row, Rob.
Some interesting banter, Rob.
All right, go get them, ladies. The difference is a big one, but nothing Jason can't handle.
True. So I realized, Rob, we'll have to start keeping a notebook for the smoke the shoe boxes as well and keep track of what the competitors hit. I didn't write them down when I bowled them, so I'll have to do that later on today.
Lucky for us, I'm pretty sure we filmed it.
Oh, that's a good point.
So I think we should be able to see what they bowled after the fact.
Sometimes I miss the obvious. Oh!
Shannon looking for a McGinty ball, but it's Dumas who gets it.
That is a 4-bagger on lane 22.
Man, the juice over there.
4 strikes in a row on 22.
Shannon now with just the head pin. Shannon just off. Shannon's having a little trouble finding it so far.
I mean, she actually almost had a strike of her own the way they fell backwards.
Shannon has a working ball when she's accurate. She's up there with some of the best in the game. Sometimes it takes her a little bit to figure out how to harness that hook, though.
I could see that there. She tried to take a little spin off it and missed left. I've been where she is right now, and it's not fun. You know, you throw the ball you think is the one you want to throw, and you just keep sliding by. You make the littlest adjustment, and then you go back on the other side, and it is not fun.
Hooks are tough, too. They can get a lot of great action, but then as you go from house to house, synthetic lanes treat them different. Sometimes a wooden lane, they'll break more. Shannon found it there all over the headpin. Dumas looking for a double.
Trying to join the double strike club. So for our 10-pin bowlers who might be watching for the first time if they've never bowled Candlepin, that's why you don't see as many hooks in Candlepin. They are a big advantage in 10-pin because 10-pin, the alleys tend to put lanes oil. And when you put lanes oil in the middle of an alley, it'll make a ball that's going across the lane with a hook shoot toward the middle pin as soon as it hits the lanes oil. But we just don't have lanes oil in Candlepin, so there's not a significant advantage to a hook. other than maybe getting some, back and forth across the deck.
But it'll hurt you as much as it'll help
Yeah,
you,
because
really.
it's hard to control, especially with these little balls.
Nice 10 by Dumas. She got ripped off on her spare attempt as we take another look. And Shannon as well making a nice bid.
This match is a big lead, but it's not yet. I'm going to say it's not insurmountable yet because Colleen's
14.
made up 16 right there. So, yeah.
It's 14th difference. Of course, Mike's working on that double
The
strike.
way McGinty's throwing the ball, it's hard to imagine that my team's going to come back here.
One half
but
Worcester.
I'm rooting for the kid. I'm hoping he puts another strike on there afterwards. Shannon wants to join the fun here and get a mark of her own.
It is only 14. One half Worcester. Jason's working on a spare too. Colleen all over her mark, and that's going to continue to chip it away.
Doing what she has to do, chip away, and Shannon is looking at some tough leaves. I mean, this one's a tough leave anyway.
Brutal to even try to get down. You have hope for 2. Oh, goes right
Yeah,
through.
no
No luck.
depressing to throw the 7, but she has to instead take away that was the best ball she's thrown.
Right.
I mean, her second ball went through the hole, so she made the adjustment. She got right on. Put aside the fact that only 7 fell and do the same thing now and hopefully put it right in the pocket.
She's got 2 boxes. You just want to get 1 mark up there, salvage your string, and give Mike something to work with going into his half.
And there's the pocket hit.
Dumas all over it too. We can't understate the half she's having. 4 headpin hits so far.
I think Shannon's going to make this one. She seems to have made an adjustment. And
I like Colleen's odds too. We're picking the other sides here, but Colleen's got some wood in the back, and the way her ball goes, something might flip over. Colleen, oh man.
tough break.
Very tough break. Shannon's a little frustrated.
Yeah,
that one got
I
away
tell you,
from
when
her.
it left her hand, I thought she had it. It just had more break on it than most of her balls do.
Now she found it. Tough 8 for Dumas. So 1 box remains.
I think Shannon has kind of found her ball now, but now she's facing what we've all gone through when you're having a tough game, and then you finally figure it out. Then you see some singles, and they become all that much harder to make because you put yourself in such a big hole.
It's never a plank when you're in that spot.
No, it's never a plank in front. Unfortunately, right?
Colleen on the other end looking to get a nice little game in the
Boom.
teens with a mark here. If
Strike.
that 10 will drop, Colleen hops.
I mean, that jump, you want some weight behind that jump so you can wobble the boards.
Maybe if you jump,
Bloom, you know what I'm talking about, Bloom. I see you laughing over there on the
Maybe
side.
if you jumped, shoot,
oh
I
yeah,
would've fallen.
I could have helped out if she was on my team. Wait, she is on my team.
Should have gone up
I
there.
should have been jumping. I'm obviously
Colleen's
not doing.
all over it. And
Not doing a
that
good
is going to
job.
knock this lead down.
We are.
It's
we
gonna be
are. It's
very
gonna be in
tight.
range. And the way Jason just coming off a 170 game, we know he can do what Mike just did. Maybe that lane's a little looser.
And he's on a spare.
It's very possible that lane could be a little looser. We just don't know. It's a one-string match. It's hard to judge, how tight a lane is.
Seen a lot of action on 22 all day.
Yep.
So an uncharacteristic tough game for Shannon. Luckily, she's got Mike firing on all cylinders as her partner. Colleen looking for the big finish.
And
Gets
she's
away
looking
from
for
her
a
tough
break
3.
because that ball definitely got away from her.
And just full. We've seen plenty of 7s and such off the head pin all day.
You almost wanted it to get away more just so you can hit a pocket.
Jason's going to need to reset the lanes. Maybe could you teach your kids how to bowl, Dan? Tell them to press the button.
He's
on, Dan.
focused,
That's
Rob.
that's
It's called
coaching, Dan.
focus.
That's
Focus.
coaching. That's coaching.
It's focus.
All right, well, speaking of focus, Mike McGinty working
Trying
on a
for
triple
our first
strike.
ever 4-bagger for Candlepin for Kids. Last year we had our first ever triple. Didn't take long to duplicate it.
On that head pin. Come on, tumble.
The 10-pin falls back.
Gets a key pin to drop, though. That's huge, even just getting a big first ball, because it's counting twice.
He did
so it's
what
an extra 14
He did what
pins.
we asked him to do. Come back and he
Tries
does
to steal
get
it. He does.
Now he's pumped.
And sometimes you need a good break to go along with good shot making, and Mike got it there. And so he is a shot at a show record, Dan. I don't want to say it right now.
Look, remembering back to what Nate Fontaine had. He had a 116 at the half.
Cole Frey.
Sorry. They're both so good, Cole Frey. Okay, so Cole Frey last year had a 116 at the half and followed it up with a spare in the 6th. So the difference is Mike has got the 116 in the 6th, and he's on that mark. So it's approximately 10 behind the pace. If I remember, I think Cole maybe got 1 or 2 spares
just
for the
only
rest of
one
the
more.
match. So
Mike off, tough
yeah.
fourth.
But he's got 4, counting the second ball, 4 full boxes. If there was a couple of marks, he could be right there where Cole was.
Jason still has the match in mind. And if he could pick this up, he'd need to go on a little run.
Oh,
nice bid by
outside
Mike.
where he
That's the
wanted to
spot he
be,
needed.
just a little too light. Jason gets
Great
it.
shot by Jason. And now Mike looking for an out. Gets away from him a little bit.
Well, that's what Jason needed him to do,
Yeah, it nullifies that mark.
51 down there minus a ball, and they had on the
28 pin
women's
lead.
side, 28.
So 23 the difference. Jason on a mark.
Yep. Sounds about right.
That's going to take some marks.
That's doable. And then the opponent does that, so that's doable. Be psyched up.
Jason's
here.
right in the pocket. Gets the extra.
10 pin.
Will
What
that
is that
10
10
carry?
pin doing? That was half over. It's almost over again.
Oof.
Nice.
Interesting shot now.
Where do you play this?
I don't know. I don't think the 10 pin has enough
I'll tell you
angle
where
for
you
it to
can
jump
play it.
over.
Below the red line on
I
that wood,
agree.
I think has a chance.
That's where he goes for it clean and
Because
gets
when you
away.
get double wood and you go below the red line, I think that first
Slides.
one's going to go to the right, and your ball is going to go to the left. So you just
Nice out by Mike. Oh. So 2 boxes left.
15. Is that what it was?
Both of our bowlers looking at good strings here. Mike's looking at a 50 game. He'd love to get one more good ball in that pocket. There it is. Ooh, carry the 5. Tough break.
15 pins. 2 boxes. Going to need 2 extra marks.
Now this one's set up
and
for
this all
Jason.
set
That's
up,
all
but
tied up.
unfortunately, though, I think McGinty's is set up too.
It is. He wanted the wood on the right.
Ooh, just barely kept
Now
that
they'll
below
take
the
them
line.
both.
Yep.
That one might come back.
And
oh. A little fuller, and that one might have been locked up, even on the 2 pin.
All right, so what Mike's looking at here now, 45, 55, 65. So he needs one more mark to
One
beat
more
the show
mark
record.
and a decent
Good fill
fill.
and one more mark.
It looks like Mike and Shannon are going to take this one home today, and they're going to have a solid score going into the Tournament of Champions.
Yeah,
even with Shannon's tough 85
You're
game.
right. You're right.
Last year, Shannon bowled with Alex Caesar. Alex threw an 80 game, and she carried him to the title. So, comes back to help her here. And
Getting the extra pins.
as
normally
Jason also
this-
buries one.
Normally a 7-10 is a tough leave, but he's got 3 pieces of wood on the right. He
The way
throws
things
ball
have been
hard.
flying around.
Yeah, he throws the ball hard. You know the 10's going, so something's just got to come across.
Maybe. What a
wow.
shot by McGinty.
Ball took it clean.
A thing of beauty. Jason answers. And so Mike McGinty needs 5 pins to break
4
the
to
show
tie the
record.
5 to break a new record.
Fireworks early here on our first day of Candlepin New Generation.
And try to break the heart of a 12-year-old by taking down his old record. And the record is tied. Ties the show record.
So Mike ties the show record. Jason finishes with a strong 9. 167 for Mike McGinty. He and Shannon Scribner are moving on. Their opponents through a 233. That's nothing to sneeze at either. Let's see if some of them can hit the high-low jack. High-low jack time. Shannon Scribner's up on lane 23. And Shannon got carried a little bit today to the title. Michael nearly doubled up on her, but I think that's going to be a
my
very
goal
solid
in life,
team.
Rob. I joined my World's team this year hoping to get carried, and then what happens? Budo leaves us. I might actually have to bowl some strings, so there goes our team shot.
Very sorry to hear that.
I know my life sucks.
Shannon veered a little left on the first ball. Nice spin on the second.
Ball. Like you mentioned a few hours ago in one of the earlier matches, we did see the 7-10 made last week at a Pro Series event.
And we
Kinda
saw
fun to watch.
it made last year by Kyla
Oh, yeah.
Lamont. She just did it on a on the high-low jack when the head pin was standing. So go get him, Colleen. Shannon looked like she found it at the end there. Found the head pin. Was on her 10 pin. That's going to be a force team in the Tournament of Champions. It's going to be fun to watch. Her and
You
Michael
could
McGinty.
see her finding it toward the end. Honestly, like I said, it's harder to make the easy spares when you put yourself in a big hole. It's that simple.
Snoopy nearly flew over to the 10 there. Wasn't quite able to get over.
Oh, she's gonna have to try to convert the 7-10.
This will be pretty.
Half-hearted rooting by Billy.
Colleen
Do
Dumas
it.
has David Godwin listed as her favorite pro. And that's a pretty typical Dave maneuver, yelling out sarcastically. Michael McGinty's turn now. Once again, your team's not hitting reset down. Once again. Sneak up there when you can.
You know what?
Colin.
I'll get it.
Thanks, Dan.
After he throws a ball.
McGinty looking to add on to his day, a little off. If we put 7 more pins up there. Shoe extremely nonchalant also in the resetting of the boat. That was good.
I waited till after he threw a ball.
I should play the Pink Panther theme as you go over and do that. Mike looks like he burned him early in the match.
He used them when they mattered.
He's going to take the 167 and be pretty happy
Whoever's
with it.
shooting on 22's got a bonus, though.
Oh, pretty shot by McGinty.
Naturally, I don't have a $5 gift card.
Pretty shot by Mike.
All right, so we've got some wood on lane 22 in the pit.
Leave it to you, Dan. Cheating with the reset button for your team.
I help my team.
Unbelievable. Yeah, his pin could easily hit that.
Oh, he knocks it
knocks it
down.
down. So now Jason's going to look to match Mike with a pretty shot. There it is. Little full.
Real pretty shot now.
You asked Shannon's, Michael's favorite bowler is Ewald Scribner.
What? Who is that?
Ewald Scribner.
Is that a real person?
Well, we'll ask him about that when we go to their interviews after this.
First of all, how does it feel to be O'Malley's sleeper pick?
All right.
Hear that, O'Malley? All right.
It felt just amazing that I was able to actually get the high game, because anytime I was close to getting it, I'd always just struggle in my head and then just mess up.
Now, Chris, you threw a giant game back in the States. You want to talk about that a little bit?
I'd rather talk about my partner. He had a 161 that game, and he gets overshadowed, but he had an awesome game. Any other year, he would have had the top.
A half-hearted applause, and that's all we're really worth. We're 0-3. Team Shoes 0-3, like the Giants.
Tebow time, Dan.
Yeah, well, it'll probably be week 16 by the time you get this edited,
I'll
Rob.
go away now.
Well, let me start over here with Eli Manning. Eli, Jason, how did it feel out there today?
It felt good until he threw that triple.
That sometimes you just run into the buzzsaw, right? I mean, there's nothing you can do. There's no defense in bowling, right?
Pretty much.
But your partner, Colleen, was coming back. What did you think watching her bowl that first half of the last game? And she was pulling you back in the match. Did you feel like you were back in it?
I did, until I started messing up.
But you threw a good ball to start with. I mean, you guys were right in there, and then, like you said, then it's all it was going to take was one mark, right?
Yeah.
And then it's two. So you had fun, though, right?
Yep.
And it was a long drive. You're going to have a lot longer drive on our next stop, because I know we're up in Maine. Do you think you'll make that one, or you're definitely going to make the adult youth one, right?
I'm definitely going to the adult youth.
And then play it by ear for the Maine?
Probably.
All right, so I know we don't have a stop in Holyoke this year. Speaking of Holyoke, and I don't want to take a lot of time, but I hear there were some changes to your alley, so can you tell us about those?
They decided to sell the bottom 10 lanes, and so we're just bowling straight out of upstairs, and it just sucks.
What's going downstairs? Pizza?
Storage.
Colleen, you made a charge in the first half. What was going through your mind the first half of that second half of the last game?
I just have to hit the head pin, make sure I can get the shot to keep it smooth.
Throwing a great ball. Were you conscious of how much you were knocking off the lead as it was going?
A little. Like, I knew I was gaining with every mark I made and she didn't make, but I thought I was doing, okay, kind of staying in the game.
We were doing some long math up there. It was getting kind of hard. The lead started off around 55. You chopped it down to the low 20s, and then it got down to 15, and anything was possible. So you did a great job. Both of you. Actually, you bowled good. You guys made me proud. It's a shame we lost, but there's nothing you can do when a guy throws a record-tying 167 against you. Rob, why don't you talk to the record-tying?
I'd be happy to, Daniel. We are here with the champs, Michael McGinty and Shannon Scribner. Shannon, we'll start with you. Struggled up there a little bit. What was going wrong?
I don't know. I just couldn't find the head pin, and when I got an easy shot, I missed it. So.
Does it feel good, even when you throw a tough game, to at least know you're going to the finals?
Yeah.
And you carried Alex last year a little bit, so you've been on the other end of it. What's it like when your partner's struggling? What are you thinking?
Just trying to get as many pins as I can to help him.
Well, that's what you did. You helped her out quite a bit. Michael McGinty threw a 192 earlier this week, then a 167 today. What a first ball you were throwing in that first half. Can you just take us through the first half?
I was just kind of staying on the head pin, not really focusing about any of the other pins, going through all my mechanics, everything, making sure I was following through, because I had a problem with that in my second qualifying game today. So trying to stick with the follow through.
It worked great for you. We saw you a couple years ago, but a lot's changed for you since then, and it looks like you're really finding a groove lately. Is there anything you've done differently?
Not really, just kind of worked more on the control of the ball, following through, like I said, kind of foot position too, some basics.
It worked great. You showed great composure up there. Shu and I noted that you had an interesting favorite bowler that we'd never heard of. Can you talk about him a little bit?
Well, when I was 7, when I started bowling, he was the one who kind of taught me how to bowl and do all the things, all of my mechanics and stuff. So he kind of influenced me to keep bowling. So I did that for him today because he's not with us anymore. So this 167 goes out to him.
And could you say his name again?
Ewald. I don't quite remember how to pronounce the last name, so I don't really want to try, but...
Well, I think you'd be very proud of what you did today. So congratulations to both of you guys. You're going home with $50 gift cards, and we're going to see you in our Tournament of Champions. And thank you for watching these guys. And when they put on a show like this, it makes it pretty fun to watch. Hopefully we'll get more big scores like this at our next stop. It's October 20th at Lanes and Games in Cambridge, and the pros will be bowling with the kids. And we'll see if they can match Mike's 167 score. So thank you for joining us on behalf on the entire Candlepin New Generation staff. Thanks for watching. I'm Rob Taylor. Join us next time, everybody.